Good evening and thanks for joining us. We start the cast on somewhat of a somber note. Shocking news about head coach Brian Curran there, Moses.
Yeah, it was one of the things that came down just this afternoon, and certainly took some people off guard. You knew something was going down, but we'll have plenty of that and more coming up in sports.
And Gerard, a pretty nice day. I actually saw some rain when I was out there today. I don't think I've seen rain at all when I've been in Lloydminster.
Wow, okay, well that's good for you. Some showers coming down even, if you'd call them that. Yeah, we had some light snow actually earlier on too, but it's probably because of all of that warming up that we're expecting as we head on into the weekend. Let's see what we're looking at right about now. The wind chilled during the course of the day. It's cooled off to where, well, it's risen if you want to look at it that way. At one point it was up in the -15 in the Cold Lake and area. We've witnessed a steady buildup of cloud cover as the afternoon has progressed, and the winds have been gusting at various points during the course of the day in Cold Lake and area, anywhere from 14 to 13. In our areas, you see, it's pushed back into the 30s again in this hour. And there we have the picture. High temperatures during the course of the day still being sustained. We're running about a 30 to 40% chance of seeing some precipitation on the overnights. We'll talk about the details coming up shortly.
The Canadian Taxpayers Federation has handed out its annual Teddy Waste Awards, showcasing the best of the worst in wasted tax dollars. The winner here in Alberta, the 21 members of the Standing Committee on Privileges and Elections. The committee has not met in over 3 years, but members have been receiving $1,000 a month, and news has sparked a review of MLAs' pay.
Well, I have not been a member of the committee for, I think, more than 4 months, since the leadership for 5 months. So I can't tell you, but apparently they haven't done a lot. I don't think there's any possible way that people would sit here and say that MLAs should get paid for doing nothing. And I also don't buy into the argument that you should have meetings just for the sake of having meetings and justify being paid.
The news may have come as a shock, but according to members of the committee, it shouldn't have, as the information is open to the public.
They are reviewing the compensation package, and during that I'm sure they can have a discussion about some committees that could be rolled in, or if there is no need for it, they could be abolished. But once again, I think you need to keep the context of what MLAs get paid. And the fact is, all of this has been published every year in the MLA disclosure package. And so it's not exactly a great piece of detective work, but it is certainly an issue that has interested the public, and rightfully so.
The committee has cost Alberta taxpayers $261,000 in this past year. As of yet, no timeline has been set for the review. A boil water advisory is now in place for Meadow Lake as higher turbidity levels have been found. Since Monday, residents have been asked to boil tap water if it's being used for drinking, brushing your teeth, and dishwashing by hand. The higher levels of cloudiness were caused by seasonal runoff. It's expected the advisory will be in place for at least the next 2 weeks. Lloydminster's Protective Services team has grown. City Council approved the addition of a new bylaw officer in the border city. Jeanette Stuka has been sworn in as the new bylaw officer to help the other 2 officers on patrol in our city.
Janet is our new hire. She's our third full-time bylaw officer. This position was put forth in our 2012 budget to increase our complement of staff in our department.
And the position is an important one.
To us, department-wise, a huge benefit. It's really going to allow us to be a lot more proactive instead of reactive. It will allow our department to really jump on complaints as they come in on a more timely fashion.
Officer Stuka will begin her new role following the completion of her training. The name Joseph Kony has spread like wildfire, exploding on social media sites and garnering worldwide attention. Kony is the leader of the Lord's Resistance Army movement in Uganda, waging war in Central Africa for over 2 decades. This latest push is trying to make Kony a household name in hopes of stopping his documented crimes against humanity, and a local Lloyd group is hopping on board. Select members from Rotaract are trying to drum up support with a Cover the Night campaign. They've started a social media group on Facebook to amp up awareness. Over 100 people have signed up in just over 24 hours.
On April 20th, we're going to have a Cover the Night, and we're trying to get as many people as possible involved, and basically we're going to go out and put posters and banners everywhere and bring awareness to him.
Kaylee says the goal of the campaign is simple: to get the message out that Kony is still free and needs to be brought to justice. If you'd like to show your support, search for the Kony 2012 Lloydminster group on Facebook. Well, it's a day to mark the strides and achievements of women around the world. March 8th is International Women's Day, and although the event is celebrated in unique ways across the globe, Dave Semichism shows us that even in Lloyd, it's all about coming together.
The first International Women's Day was observed more than 100 years ago to fight against oppression and inequality. Much has changed over the last century. These ladies gathered to celebrate female accomplishments and to honor one special local lady.
Today, as I said, with the International Women's Day Woman of Vision Award, we are presenting that to Darlene McDonald from the Lloydminster Learning Council for her years being involved not only with Lakeland College many years ago and with the Learning Council for her work.
The theme was Successful Women in Education, Training, and Employment. As a lifelong educator, Darlene McDonald says she is honored to be recognized for her efforts.
I worked in Lloydminster in the education field for close to 30 years. I've worked with the Learning Council for almost 25, and then prior to that with Lakeland College for 10 years. And quite enjoy working with adults and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for them.
For the crowd, McDonald's story offers up a shining example of the achievements women are making around the world.
Today is important for International Women's Day because we honor a lady who has done lots for her community and has been a very outgoing person and deserves an honor.
David Semchism, Newcap News.
Coming up, a big local star is coming back to his roots. All the details after the break.